inevitably next to the limestone, or the egg lime in the store on the shelves, there will be elemental sulfur or aluminum sulfate
Right.
for the people who say, "Oh, I need to bring the pH down." That could be somebody who wants to grow potatoes or uh,
Blueberries.
blueberries. Yeah, yep. Or wants their azaleas to be blue instead of pink.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Uh, Trouble is, if you're on the acidic side and you want to drop a little bit more, either elemental sulfur or aluminum sulfate or even ammonium sulfate will actually move the pH. If you're sitting with an alkaline soil and you want to go from 7.5 to 5, uh, you'll never do it.
Oh, really?
You could not put enough sulfur on to actually change the pH and have it stay down. Uh, two
Is it
two
just because of
reasons.
the buffering or whatever? Like you're like
The buffering,
throwing matches
it's
at an ice cube or at an iceberg sort of thing?
yep.
Yeah.
It's the buffering in the soil. Part of it is um, the pH scale is logarithmic.
Right.
So each unit, you're not going up by one, you're going up by 10 times,
Right.
and then 100 times, then 1,000 times.
Oh,
So
really? So
yeah,
1 to 2 is not 1 to 2.
no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. The other thing is most of the alkaline soils, uh, usually anything above 7.2, certainly above 7.5, has some free carbonates in it, free limestone. The same
Oh,
stuff we use for liming is sitting there as a mineral in the soil
just with nothing to do.
with nothing to do, and you
I
put
see.
these acidifying agents in there. Well, it's going to use up the lime until you've used up all that limestone in the soil. You're not going to start to work on the acidity that's sitting on the clay minerals or the organic matter or in the
Right.
soil solution.
Right.
So it's I think used far more often than it actually does anything. And some of this goes back to the myth of, oh, my textbook says, the ideal pH for these plants is 6.5 or between 6.2 and 6.8, and my pH is 7.5, so I have to acidify the soil. Well, the lower limit is okay. The acidity will actually hurt the plants. They want to be a higher pH than that. The upper limit is set for somebody who's in an acidic soil that you don't over lime and push the pH too high.
Right.
Uh, that's very different from having a native alkaline soil
Right.
and trying to bring the pH down. Most plants are much happier if the pH is above the ideal range than below.
Hmm. Right.
So it's a lot of spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere.
Yeah, and I've had other uh, authors on the channel. They've talked about it might have even been you about how the plant roots, well, they have a capacity to adjust the pH of the soil immediately
Yep,
in
yep,
contact with the
yep,
roots by
yep.
what's that called? Their what's that exudates or something like this.
They're
They're
exudates. Yep,
yeah,
yep, and they're actually excreting hydrogen ions, so acidifying the soil in that rhizosphere right around the roots as they take, it takes in a potassium, kicks out a hydrogen
hmm,
because they're
right,
both positively charged. That keeps things in balance. Takes in a calcium, kicks out two hydrogens because calcium's got two positive charges. So there is that acidification right around the root that's happening.
right. And to what extent would you say it's? I mean, like I've got uh, that potato scab everywhere in my garden.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you read, it's like, well, you're just going to throw a whole bunch of sulfur in there. And it's like, I would assume my soil is already somewhat acidic, it can't be, and it's like clay, it's like there's granite rocks everywhere. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's, it's, it's adjacent to a forest that is all spruce trees and tamarack trees. and like alders, and like it's
Hmm.
clearly
Hmm.
not, this was never farmland, will never be
Right.
farmland. The only
Right.
reason I'm growing anything is because I've trucked in all kinds of horse manure and just made it work.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but you know, clearly the acidity of the soil isn't so low that I don't have a potato scab problem. Um, but I always think like you can try to amend the soil for something like that, or just, I grow russeted potatoes because they're a little. If I grow anything like I love a red Norland potato. It's
Hmm.
probably my
Hmm.
favorite potato. But if I grow them in my garden, it's a disaster. They can't, or any of those really nice. There's another one called Superior. It's a white potato.
The nice thin-skinned potatoes.
Yeah, like all of it with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
great, great flavor and all that sort of
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
But all I can really grow is things like a russet Burbank, um,
Hmm. Hmm.
Kennebec sometimes. Um, so, but anyway, I've just given over to it. Like, okay, I guess that's what I'm growing here. And if I want some red potatoes off, you can't even buy red New Orleans. You have to buy Idaho Reds. It's so irritating that there's such a small variety of potatoes at the store, and there's so many kinds you can grow, and so many of them are so like we don't even most people don't even understand how good some potatoes are because they're not available for purchase.
Yep, yep.
There's like one or two or three kinds of potato in the store:
Hmm.
Yukon
Hmm.
Gold, Idaho Red, Russet Burbank, um, maybe
Yep,
a
yep.
couple others. Um, so
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, and the same thing with like for the person trying to grow the blueberries in southern Ontario. Will it be the case that they won't get any blueberries, or will their plant just be have a lousy yield?
It
And
would have a lousy yield. It would look yellow. Would not.
oh,
It would be you say unthrifty. Um, Blueberries actually have a pretty high requirement for iron, and iron's
right,
one of those things that as the pH goes up,
they can't
iron
take it up.
availability drops.
Oh, I see.
It precipitates out, in insoluble minerals. Um, there is one guy uh, I know of who's growing blueberries successfully on a sandy soil. Now it's in Bruce County, so a lot of the soils around are fairly alkaline, but the sands can acidify. It's probably neutral or just below. But then
Hmm.
um, he's built ridges and a lot of pine sawdust in the ridges and trickle irrigation, and he's growing them in there.
Mm.
Seems to be working, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And he's sort of creating a micro environment right around the blueberry roots to be able to do that.
You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, folks, the video you just watched is an excerpt from my conversation with Keith Reed, a recent podcast I did. You can find that entire conversation on my new YouTube channel called Maritime Gardening Podcast. I've broken my YouTube content up into two channels now. The one you've been watching and are subscribed to for all along is called Maritime Gardening. You can see that it's got 55,000 subscribers. The new channel is called Maritime Gardening Podcast. That's going to have all the podcast stuff. Okay, and you can see that only has 152 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed to that, please subscribe to that so you'll be notified when I have a new podcast or any sort of podcast related material released. I'm gradually migrating all of my podcast material over to that channel. You can see I've so far brought over 30 videos or 30 podcasts from way back in the early days, going back to my very first podcast, Let's Get Back to Gardening. So I'm trying to bring them all over, give them a fresh new look with new thumbnails and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot of work, that sort of thing. I do think this is going to be better for the channel in the long run, but I need you to subscribe to this new YouTube channel, Maritime Gardening Podcast. Okay, so if you're already subscribed to the old one, great. If you haven't, please subscribe. I'd love to have more than 55,000 subscribers to this. But if I'm going to get this new one off the ground, it's going to have more than 152 subscribers. And if anyone's going to see or hear the podcast I do, that's definitely going to need that to survive. So please help out with that by just subscribing to this new channel, Maritime Gardening Podcast. I'll have links to all of this in the description box of this video. I'll also put a link that you can click at the end of this video. As always, thanks for everything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a viewer all these years. And we'll catch you in the next video or podcast. Thanks.